pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. James, are you presenting? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Mr. Martin, you want to start us off?
You got your 6:35 appointment, auxiliary appointment.
Okay.
James White is going to come up and present the prospective appointee.
Good evening. I have with me here Lee Surratt. Lee is a lifelong resident of Granby, went through Granby schools, and then from there went to the Westfield University, got his bachelor's degree. He's worked 4 years for American Medical Response and the last 3 years for the town of Granby as a police dispatcher. And he has found an interest in law enforcement since doing that, and this year successfully completed the Reserve Intermittent Police Academy, and is now, with your blessing, looking to get appointed to our auxiliary police department.
What was his bachelor's in?
English literature.
You want to do that?
English literature to criminal justice, huh?
There's a lot of report writing.
What day are you looking to be effective?
Depends on the appointment date. We can set a day and then we can,
What day are you looking for?
it's of no difference to us, so whatever's convenient. You guys set the date and we can go, I guess, next Monday. Does that work?
Do you want it next Monday? Do you want it January 1? Do you want it December? It's up to you.
Next Monday would be best, I think. Let's see what date that is.
12/23?
No, 12/23.
Yeah, perfect.
Are there any other questions or anything like that? I mean, as far as the auxiliary, you went to the training, you're going to be an auxiliary. You'll be as called, as needed. It's not like you're going to be a full-time police officer.
Lee, what made you decide to be a police officer?
Well, I do have a personal interest in sort of the safety of this town. I do have family here, my mother and my brother. Also, from interacting with the officers there, it just seemed like an interesting job.
Okay. Are you ready to take on something like that?
I am.
Everything that goes along with it?
Yes, sir. All risks, all responsibilities.
Good.
Any other?
Now, I see Lee quite often. He knows I'm in and out of there quite a bit. So.
All right, then. I will make a motion to appoint Lee Surratt, effective December 23rd, 2019, to the Granby Auxiliary Police Department.
I'll second the motion.
Any more discussion on Lee's appointment? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous on the ayes, Kathy? And that's effective 23 December.
All set?
Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much for coming.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you Thursday night, probably.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Happy holidays, guys.
You too. Thank you.
Glenn, can I just have a paperwork?
Is our
I think you
resume,
buried it under your,
I might have.
that looks like part of it.
Yep, that is it.
thank you.
He's welcome.
You got the thank you letters done? or-
Yes, I'm signing them now.
Oh, okay. Chris, we're doing those thank you letters right now that Kathy wanted. And we'll get them to you, then we'll go to 6:40. Be just a minute, we're done here. And we'll move on.
Well, I think, Mr. Leonard, are you presenting
Yes, I am.
for this
Only
assessors?
at your pleasure.
How come they're going up?
All right here.
I've already read it. Okay, these are for, I don't
Yep,
think Chris
those
or
are the
Kathy,
to be
thank you
signed.
letters. Come on up, Greg.
Okay, so, in the December 6, 2019 edition of the Town Reminder, there was a advertisement put in the paper, Town of Granby, notice of public hearing, Granby Selectboard tax classification. The Select Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, December 16, 2019, at 6:40 PM at 10B West State Street, COA Building, to decide whether or not all classes of property should be taxed at the same rate. And before you guys, there's one of these for each of you.
Yeah, I already have called up electronically.
Yeah, I've got my copy too, but it never hurts to have one that's not all written on.
Mr. Leonard.
Good evening, all, and welcome to our newest Select Board member.
Why, thank you, Mr. Leonard.
Rather interesting details of our town budget. We're here to do work on the fiscal year 2000 budget, where, according to the documents that we've prepared, we have a maximum allowable levy limit of $13,244,750. We have to raise that money somehow off of the total value of all residential, commercial, industrial, and personal property of the town, which is valued at $669,685,734, of which roughly $10,206,468 is classified as new growth, either through building permits or new values to existing properties, with a sidebar that represents 1.5% increase to the value of the town. Hence, with budgets going up by 2% typically or more, that's where we need to have the tax rate come up. If you were interested in treating, as we have historically done, all property at the same tax rate, you would be looking at a tax rate of $19.77 per thousand. Additionally, you have the option of shifting some of the burden of the tax rate onto commercial property by 50%. If you were to go to our worksheets at the end of the booklet that I gave you, you would see that maximizing the shift to industrial properties would have a net result to our residential property of approximately $1 per thousand at the most. So if you feel as though you want to punish, quote unquote, any commercial property, that is the highest impact that you could have on residential property.
How much would the business tax go up?
The business tax would go up, say, at the most extreme rate would be on the last page, would be up to $29.65 per thousand.
You're talking a $10 increase for
Per thousand.
businesses to save $1
Right.
with the residential. Thank you.
for the purposes of our newest member, typically, because of this such a stretch, and we have so little commercial property, we've left it as a single tax rate, which in other years, we've either recommended or left it to your pleasure. But technically, we are not here to recommend any tax rate to you. It's for the select board to decide.
Well, as far as discussion with me, I can't see raising commercial tax rate any. We should leave it the same as we do our residential, we've been doing for years. We're trying to encourage businesses to come into town to help take the load off the residents. And we shouldn't penalize the businesses now because then they'd be less likely to even come. That's my opinion. I mean, to increase them by a max of $10 to save a resident $1 per thousand doesn't really make much sense to me personally. That's mine, but again, it takes a majority vote to make the decision, but that's just my opinion.
I don't look at raising commercial taxes, penalizing them.
I don't either. It's,
Because a lot of different cities and towns, tax rate,
You're right.
the commercial rate is different than a residential rate.
and commercial entities are expecting that. They expect to have a different rate. I mean, let's face it, there's going to come a time where we are going to have to.
Well, hopefully we get enough businesses that would move in, that would help the residents' property tax.
But
Go ahead.
as a business owner, would you want to come in and then the following year find out your taxes are going to increase?
Well, would you rather have a decision that I'm not coming at all because the business taxes are too high?
I don't necessarily think that that would happen. I mean, I can understand how our existing businesses would be a little bit upset, especially our smaller ones. But can someone do the math for me, because I suck at math?
Well, it's on the chart for the most part.
I'm
What
looking
math are you talking about?
Any math, that's what I'm here for.
any math. I
Any
suck
math.
at all math.
Well, he's right, any math, so he can help you.
So I guess what I'm not understanding, and I'm probably missing it
That's why-
somewhere, if we were to raise commercial to
To
the
the
max that we
maximum.
could, how much revenue would that generate? You said
It's not broken out, but it certainly could be, to the maximum revenue that you could raise off commercial and industrial property.
right. That would be interesting to know.
I can certainly give that information. You know, our information is typically more broad than that, just as a shift to the average residential value. Of course, the commercial property values are across the board,
Right.
from our big box stores, of which we have a few, to our smallest hair salon, donut shop, whatever. So we can only give an explanation per $1,000 of value. Our average home value for this past year is $265,000, 453, which is an increase of about $2,600. Our median residential value
Went down.
actually went down, which just gives a picture that we are not out of the woods of the financial crisis of 8 years ago.
Right.
People aren't spending because they don't feel comfortable spending.
And a lot of
That's-
them don't have it to
We
spend.
had 6 new homes come into Granby last year. That's a very low amount. That's an
Yes.
unusually low amount.
6 new homes built?
Built.
Okay.
I mean, is there other reasons why that's happening? Is it just based on land availability?
I don't believe so. We've had our vacant land values drop substantially from years past.
No, but I'm speaking more towards not the value of the land, but there's desirability of where the lots are and stuff like that, that people just.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
We have new homes going in presently that are in very desirable lots. I can't speak to what made these lots available. I think we still have plenty of open space and building lots that are available. We're just, this past fiscal year, we went through a lull, which is certainly a lull evidenced by 6 new homes. That's a dramatically low number.
How many do we generally average in a year?
Up around 20,
Oh, that is
close to
low.
20.
Okay, that is very
and
low.
what was, sorry, Jen, what was the cutoff date for that? Was it December 31st or July 1, June 30th?
Cutoff date for
To where the number was 6, what was the cutoff date for that?
December 31st.
December, yeah.
31st?
and I can't come up with a rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
There could be a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, homes are being purchased
But
Yes.
nothing
and
built.
homes are selling well in Granby, as an anecdote, but,
Some people would rather buy something that's already there than have
Right.
something be built for them.
and we have not, I don't have a number for you, but the number of new building permits, either renovating or doing any work to the homes, is somewhat down from the previous year.
Okay. I guess I would like to know, or to have some idea of if raising the commercial rate would, I mean, granted, any money that we can generate is a bonus, but is it a bonus enough to be worth irritating?
You would have to explore the philosophy of a bonus, and I'm not in a position to give you that kind of information.
Jen, can I just straighten you out?
Yeah.
If we increase the tax rate for the commercial by $10 and reduce the residential by $1, we still can only raise $13,244,750.
No, I know that.
But we can't generate.
I shouldn't say generate revenue. I should have
Shift it.
shift the revenue is what I should have used.
Okay, that's,
No, I know we can only raise a certain amount, but it was more how much could they raise to take. Does that make sense? I guess if I knew what our commercial properties were assessed at.
You'd have to go by each
You have it.
specific property.
you have them.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yep.
Where am I missing it?
The total
Okay, when you come
commercial
down here,
property that we have?
residential would go down by $1.
Right.
Okay, so take $1 per thousand. Okay, so it'd be, per thousand would be 611,872 reduction
From residential.
for residential.
Right.
Then you add all these other ones up, this one, and that one.
Okay, so it's all of these added together.
Yes, it'd be personal, industrial, commercial.
Okay, that's where I was
So you
confused.
add those 3 together, and it would be $10 per thousand, okay?
Right.
So you would take whatever this number is, and then just multiply it by 10.
So we would shift the residential burden by
Right.
611,000.
Yes. $1 per thousand.
Per thousand.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, and I guess that's where I was confused, because I didn't realize we had to add
Right.
all 3 of those numbers. So they
Well, if you
didn't,
don't see these numbers,
and I don't do well with numbers. Give me words, I'm good.
yeah.
Numbers, not so much.
Okay, so
Okay.
the numbers are all there for you. You would just have to turn around and
Do the math.
do the math, yes. You need me to do the math for you?
No, that's what calculators are made for. Don't mind me using a calculator.
Okay, that's fine.
If anybody else wants to talk, you can.
No. I would just say if we go with the recommended $19.77 per thousand across the board, just so people will know that we're only $5.23 from the max Proposition 2.5 allowable rate. correct?
Right.
So there's not a whole bunch of room for borrowing and stuff in this
Correct.
town.
And
That's all I'm saying.
probably the most important number that I have on this sheet is the fact that we had the growth of our town values
Can you double check that I'm
increased by
right on that?
1.5%.
Right,
People need to recognize that,
right,
that's what we have to work with.
right. But people have to also understand, we have limited funding to
Right, because of
borrow
that.
Because of, we're almost maxed out at Proposition 2.5.
Right.
Which is like a lot of cities and towns
Oh, you want them? I have them.
Right.
here.
at the current time. So
Well,
we're already maxed out.
yeah, some are, some aren't. Depends which town you go to.
So we're talking about a 41-cent increase per 1,000.
Yes.
How'd that compare to last year? Last year
Last year went down.
we were down some, didn't we, last year?
Right, which is a reflection of the small increase in our town's values, which is what I typically get hit with when I'm chair, just a calendar issue.
So how would so someone's,
If we had a lot of new growth, our tax rate would go down.
Yeah.
right,
If we had those 20 homes,
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
offset a lot of it.
That's how much for the commercial would go up to offset the 611,000 for
611,000.
residential.
Okay.
Okay.
So someone needs to make a motion.
Unless you need additional information before you make a decision.
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'm
Okay.
good.
All right.
You want to make,
Did you tell what the excess capacity was as
No, I
part of your
didn't- I did
presentation?
not hear that question.
All right, hold on one second.
Do you want to know? what
You
the-
will be signing a form called the LA5,
Okay.
okay? On the LA5, basically, it says, notice was given to the taxpayers on 12/6/2019 at 6:40 PM at 10 West State Street by newspaper Town Reminder that a public hearing on the issue of adopting the tax levy percentages for fiscal year 2020 would be held on 12/16/2019. We hereby attest that on 12/16/2019, 6:40 PM at 10B West State Street, in a public hearing on the issue of adopting the percentages for fiscal year 2020, that the Board of Assessors presented information and data relevant to making such determination and the fiscal effect of the available alternatives, and that the percentages set forth above were duly adopted in public session on 12/16/2019. The LA5 excess capacity for the current fiscal year is calculated as $5,063.04. The LA5 excess capacity for the prior fiscal year is calculated as $3,292.62. That's what you're attesting to when you sign and accept or set your tax rate. Okay?
Okay.
And can I ask one other question, Greg?
Anything?
Is there going to be another assessor who signs off on all these forms?
Yes, I thought,
I only have one assessor on the LA5 that was printed this morning at
yes,
9:56
all
a.m.
three.
Because I only have Greg Leonard as,
All three will be signed on.
okay. All right, I just want to make sure.
Is that something that needs to be done, Chris? Should
Yes.
you sign it beforehand?
Yes.
They can't be submitted until a majority of the Board of Assessors
have agreed.
sign off on the LA5. I can get the Board of Selectmen to sign the form tonight,
Right.
but it can't be submitted to DOR until the assessors sign off on it.
And the other two
Which
assessors
we
are
will do
right there.
momentarily.
Right, they're right, they're
After
sitting
we're
right there.
done with you people. Thank you.
So you keep on speaking of the LA5.
Right.
This here says LA7.
The first half of this that gives the values is an LA7. You signed the LA5, okay, which
And
is
then we
page
submit.
2 of the LA7.
So on a base so the median value of a house is $238,000. How does that impact him at 41 cents per value?
Impact?
Yeah, how much are their taxes gonna go up?
Mine, $324. I've already figured mine out.
See, that's why I have Jay Joyce here.
Is Jay Joyce's house valued at 238,000?
His is valued more than that.
Okay, so it doesn't help you out, but
Oh,
thank you.
okay.
So $238,000
I can do it for you.
times,
Chris has a calculator out.
I gotta find my...
238,000.
Yeah, let's just go 238, and the change, Greg, was it,
238,
we're going to 77?
600.
36, so 77 minus 36 is 41 cents?
yes,
Okay, so I do that times .41, $97.58 for a medium house.
correct.
So that's how much it'll increase.
For an
An
average
average.
house in town. I
Per
guess
year,
my house
per
is
year.
considered
Per year.
above average.
I just,
All important questions.
no, and I know, I just struggle, I know a lot of people that are on
Fixed income.
fixed income.
Correct.
and, You know, this does add to it, plus when the value of their houses are going up, plus is added on to it, you know, plus the school override, you know? It's
This includes the override for the school.
No, I know, but it's just a, you know, people see it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's sometimes
Right,
sticker
and
shock.
to that end, I can't emphasize enough that we only had a 1.5% increase to our tax base.
Right.
That's quite significant.
Yep.
Right. It makes a big
People
difference.
need to recognize that.
Like you said, the year before, there was a much greater impact.
Yeah, and
it went
years
down.
ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
so hopefully it's just a off year.
Yeah.
I hope I mean, I know there's been, so when you're talking homes that have been completed.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Certificate of occupancy.
I think at the top of my head, 3 houses that are being built right now.
Right.
So.
It's a small town, we all see what's
Yeah,
going on.
so-
Yeah.
But our net result is 1.5%, and that's not enough to work with.
It's understandable, so hopefully next year we have a greater growth and we can look at maybe bringing it down a little bit.
And maybe the tax rate can go down when I'm not chair. Karma's tough.
It only goes up when you are chair, right?
Correct, absolutely correct.
Well, you stop being chair. That's it. Yeah, okay.
Any more questions?
All right. Greg, thank you. I know these are
No.
sometimes are questions that you feel like, you know, hitting you with, but it's
They're great questions.
information we don't know, at least I don't know.
And the public is welcome to come up to our office and take a look at these documents to see what not only we are dealing with, but basically what you people are dealing with. That's more important.
Yeah.
Because I've already reviewed all this and I understand it. So I knew, just like you said, I knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris, did you say this, you read this off as a public hearing? That
Yep.
we're gonna look for any public, input from the public?
You can if you want to.
Yeah. If anybody in the
Absolutely.
audience wants to say something about this, they're more than welcome to. All they have to do is raise their hand.
while we have the audience here, I want to point out that we have a new board member on the Board of Assessors. Our former assessor's clerk and assistant assessor, Carrie Ann Wenzel, is now on Board of Assessors.
Welcome.
And we have a relatively new assessor clerk in Nicole Menard.
Welcome, Nicole.
Any grievances you have, you can bring straight to her.
I have known Nicole and her husband a
No, I
lot
mean the
longer
whole
than...
public.
The whole public.
Oh, and you look very good in the school committee.
Thank you. I might have stepped out of my
Realm.
realm a little bit, but it was important to say something.
Make your point.
Yes,
You make your point.
thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to, anybody want to introduce a motion?
Yeah.
If nobody wants to, I'll make a motion to accept the tax rate raise to $19.77 per thousand, and it would be the same for both businesses and for residents.
I'll second the motion, Jay.
Okay. Okay, we have the motion second. Any more discussion on this motion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have 3 ayes, Kathy. It's unanimous. And the tax rate goes from $19.36 to
Get each one of you to
$19.77.
sign that form.
Yep.
Also, the other thing
When was
is,
that effective, January 1?
no, July 1 of this,
July 1?
of 2019. You know how you get an estimated tax bill for 2 quarters?
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you're gonna get your actual bill made up for the second 2 quarters?
Yep.
That's what happens,
Right.
okay? Now, the other part of this
Get a letter
is,
from my mortgage company telling them we're gonna increase your
will the
escrow.
board,
Increase your escrow.
will the board give me permission to sign the electronic document on their behalf as long as I scan and include that with the packet, showing that the board did sign?
I'm okay with that.
I personally have no problem. Jen says she has no problem. So Glenn, what do you,
I don't have an issue with it.
hey, do you want just to
think-
be directed to do it?
Just give me permission to do so.
You have permission, you are directed by the board to so forth. Scan it and send it.
Who will be submitting the documents?
We will be submitting them electronically at our board meeting, moments from now.
Well, you can't do the
No,
LA
Coleman
5, you
already.
can't do the LA 5 until
Right.
it's signed off by the
Right.
board, so. I'm
We
just
will
letting-
have that submitted.
Okay,
Yeah, you already have
Yeah.
the board members here.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank all of you.
So, and who's the chair of the select board? So, Jay, while you were chair of the select board, the tax rate went up too.
Yeah. So I gotta
Throwing it out
follow
there,
you.
'cause we're both going down.
Well, I didn't plan on running again anyway, so.
Thank you.
Let's get more growth, right? That's what we need, right? Thank you.
We do need more growth. Those numbers are depressing.
Yes, they are, but they are what they are. Nothing you can do about it. But the biggest number is, people have to realize the max test rate for residential is $25 per thousand. And the closer you get, the less money you have that you're able to borrow or do anything with.
The legislature is looking at changing that to
Yes, they are. But then,
to allow to
I don't
increase
think,
more than $25 per thousand.
I don't think it's gonna pass, but they are looking at it.
That's
But
great.
also,
again.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
but also too, the same panel is, a lot of them came to the planning board to open up some land into lots and stuff like that, so I can see next year there being some additional growth as far, I can think of right now, 3 houses I know that are being built.
Right.
That I'm sure there's much more than that. We have a Dollar General building being built, so, you know.
Yeah, anything is going to help.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see more commercial instead of residential. I mean, yes, while residential helps, I'd still like to see more
I
commercial.
definitely would. I mean, it's a one part to offset the cost a little bit. There's just not a great deal of commercial in town, which would be, it's a high
Right.
impact on them.
And that was what the face was for, because increasing the commercial really
Yeah.
wouldn't do much to the residential.
No, the $10 for, the max of $10 to raise the commercial would only alleviate a max of $1 from the residents.
Right. But I had to see the numbers.
Okay. I had already-
Otherwise, it didn't make
That's
any-
why I already told my wife what the tax rate would be going up to.
Cheater.
Well, I read the stuff, what can I say? Okay, Mr. Martin, would you like to pick another subject here, and we'll move on? You have no more appointments.
All right, first thing I want to, there's been a request from the bylaw committee to conduct a hearing for the proposed bylaw changes on January 28th, 2020.
28 January. Oh, you're gonna hold it here, or you don't?
To be held here,
That's the
probably
gen-
at 6:30,
that's
6 or
General
6:30.
bylaws, we're gonna be doing, right?
But everything they've been working on,
Okay.
yes,
So that's regarding all the bylaw changes?
yes, that they've been working on,
And those are-
except zoning. There's no zoning that they have been reviewing,
Okay.
okay? That's a Tuesday, the last
Thank you.
last Tuesday of the month.
I wanna change.
So if the board has no problems with it, I'll inform them that that day is a go.
Let me just check my calendar, but I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think, I got,
No, I have nothing on there. And in fact, I'm gonna put it in there right now. I'm just gonna put- And you said 6 or 6:30, Chris?
I'd like to do 6,
That's fine.
because they have such a large number of changes to talk about.
That's fine.
The earlier the better.
We'll be here till midnight.
Well, what we may want to try and do
More than one
is
night.
do more than one night. This will be the first one. See, about how many hours would you want it to run? 2 hours? Will you guys be tired after 2 hours? 2.5?
I could go 3.
I could go 3 max.
Would that okay with you going?
Yeah, well,
We can, and then at the 3-hour mark, we can look and see how much is left, and then make a decision from there.
we're at meetings on January and Mondays.
Well, the problem is, January 20th is
Martin
Martin
Luther
Luther
King.
King Day, so would you be holding it on the 21st?
Probably the planning board will be the Tuesday, the 21st.
Or do we want to make it
21st
the,
Tuesday.
or do we
21st
want to
would be a
make it
Tuesday.
the 13th or the 27th?
So that would mean we would either have back-to-back 6 and 13,
Or you
or
could do 27 and
27 here and then 28 for the bylaw.
Yeah.
Would you rather have
I
2
can't
back?
do it, I can't do the 27th, I have a planning board meeting.
Right, he has the second, fourth, so I would say that we should do our next meeting on the
You want to do it on the 21st?
I think
21st.
just do it on 21st. I think
Okay,
it's
and
tough
just
when
put
you
that in
try
there
to-
now.
And people are used to the certain dates for certain things.
All right. While you're talking about that too, is the proposed FY21 budgets are due from departments on December 20th.
Yeah.
Does the board wish to schedule departments to come in on the 6th and the 21st before your regular meeting to go over their budget proposals?
I would. So we would have to.
What we've done in the past, we've done like 5. We meet at 4:35.
Mhm.
That way we can schedule probably 3 departments each night.
The earliest I'd be able to be here would be 5.
I'm just saying, we can do 5. It's up to the board how they want to do it.
How does that work for you?
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I'm just-
Okay, I'll change the 6th and the 21st to 5 right now.
And the 6th and the 21st, right?
I'm doing it right now.
5 PM.
Change them to 5.
So Kathy, will you get that out to the department heads so they can first come, first serve?
And the 21st.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so that's into 28 presented.
And we said 6 for the,
Yeah, 6th, we start at 5 o'clock for select board. 5 o'clock, we'll start reviewing the departments.
yep.
And approximately 6:30, we'll do our regular meeting. And then we'll do the same thing on the 21st of January. And on the 28th of January, we'll have a public hearing here for the bylaw committee on what they have to present.
And we're starting that at 6, you said?
Yeah,
Yep.
that one starts
Okay.
at 6.
Making sure I just have them in there right. Okay.
That's why I put them in as we go, so that they're...
Yep, that's what I did. I wrote it down, but I just wanted to make sure that I wrote it right.
You all set, Glenn?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Don't want to rush.
Couple things under correspondence. First is the zoning enforcement officer issued a cease and desist on that new range that was constructed at the Granby Bull and Gun Club without going through the permitting process. I do know that they have been talking about appealing it to the Zoning Board of Appeals, but we have not received anything from them officially recording their
How
appeal.
long do they have to appeal it?
I think it's 30 days.
They have 30 days. However, as of December 25th, I believe, they'll be fined per Section 6.8 of the Granby zoning bylaw. They'll be fined $100 per day for non-compliance. So,
Okay.
all right. The other issue, I did get a hold of Mr. Amla. I did explain to him the issue that he was having, and he has no problem
Okay.
regarding the response I gave to him. So, the other thing is we received a letter from the Office of Dam Safety, from the Department of Conservation and Recreation. They did accept the emergency action plan that we submitted regarding the Forge Pond Dam and Dike.
You still have a copy of that? You could have, Glenn. You know, right there?
Got the
Okay.
bucket.
Because I haven't read it
Did
yet.
you go, were you able to go through it all?
Yeah, pretty much.
So those are the ones of, oh, the other one is Alex is now in charge of GCAM.
Yep.
Trish resigned to go and write a book. Am I correct?
You think so, yeah.
Yep.
That's what
So
it said.
I wish her well on her literary endeavor. So,
We may still see her here from time to time doing it. She's volunteered to come back if needed on certain times.
Good for her. Good for
You
you,
did?
Alex. Thank you.
Yeah, he's the new program
The only
coordinator.
question I had on correspondence, Chris, was that $116,000 of free cash from South Hadley Fire Department District 2.
yeah,
They just do what they want with it, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I just
no,
want- I'm
no,
asking.
no,
I didn't
no,
know. That's
no.
all I'm just asking.
Just like us, they would have to hold a district meeting to appropriate it or use it for whatever purpose they want to do.
Now, with the Granby residents that,
Who are part of District 2 have the right to attend and vote either for or against any proposed uses of the free cash for District 2.
that's all I wanted to say, in case some of them are listening. They know they can keep an eye out, and they can attend South Hadley Fire Department District 2. They have a hearing for that.
I think we all get notices.
I don't know, because I'm not a member of...
am in the
South-
district.
You're
I
in
think we all
District
get
2?
notices.
Okay, I had no idea.
They're supposed to send you a notice.
Yeah, I believe we do.
Okay, I didn't know because I'm not in that district.
I believe we circular file them.
Okay.
I think you ought to go for the experience.
Hey, Chris, what do you think the odds are? Do you think we could get a regional rate with Comcast if we went with the other towns that they service in our area? Or are they just going to do them individually? Because I'm looking at the rates on Comcast going up. Granby's going up higher than the rest of them. That's the only reason I
The
asked.
problem I would have is you would have to then negotiate a new contract on a regional basis, and who would get what part, because
Right.
they do give X number of dollars to GCAM
Right.
as part of our contract. I'm sure South Hadley gets X number of dollars. So there would be some logistics. They would probably, if they want to look at doing it, then the Cable Access Committee should be contacting access committees from other communities and put that out there if they want to regionalize.
And there would be, that's the only thing we could really do, even though South Hadley's putting in their own lines for their own cable company now. They're probably going to be leaving Comcast for the most part.
But I'm just saying, you got Ludlow, you got,
Agawam, there's a whole list of in the reading
but
material. I
yeah,
did.
but I'm just saying, it would, I don't know if you want to regionalize all the way down to Agawam.
No, I'm just stating that was in the letter that they were
Yeah,
in there, that's all.
but, that would
West
be,
Springfield.
that would be something to
Chicopee.
run by the
Which-
Cable Access Committee and see if that's something they would be interested in doing.
And you're on that, right, Jen?
I'm on the board of GCAM, yes.
That's different.
That's different.
That's what I'm
Cable-
saying. It's
different from
different
the
from the
Board of
Cable
Directors.
Access Committee.
Yeah.
We have to get that.
No, just as I was reading
Appointed
all
still.
that stuff, I just noticed the rates in Granby seem to be higher than everybody else that Comcast charges. So when we got to that point, I thought I'd ask that question, that's all. Just like I did on the free cash, to make sure people understand. Because I don't live in Fire District 2, so I didn't know we automatically got them.
Yeah, we do get notices.
Okay. Next, Mr. Martin, is that us gonna?
Next, I have a proposed job description for a town planner slash conservation agent. Not
Have that right
not conversation agent, a conservation agent.
Well, there will be conversation going on.
Basically, I wanted to run the proposed job description by the Board of Selectmen prior to forwarding it to the Conservation Commission and the Planning Board for their input on the proposed job duties.
The only comment that I had on it, I think it's very good, because with the position description like this, it's so loose that we have a lot of area to maneuver in. But the only thing that stuck out in my mind is there's a 25-pound limit that the person has to lift. Wouldn't it be 50 pounds be more realistic?
What are they gonna lift that's 50 pounds?
Could be a
Case of
file.
paper.
Yeah, a case of paper weighs over 25 pounds.
Do you want it to be 50? I can make it 50. It's just,
No, I just thought 25.
I just don't see them lifting
Well,
the,
so they have to be able to at least lift 25 pounds on a maximum.
And I don't see them
Yeah, up
weighing
to
what they're
25
lifting
pounds.
anyway.
So if somebody had something over 25 pounds, then they could say, well, my job description doesn't say I have to lift it. That's all. I was saying 50 would be more realistic.
what section is that one?
It's on page 3, I think. No, make it page 2. Page 2 under work environment.
So you want to make that 50?
Yeah, that's all. Make it more realistic what goes on.
Why do we even need it in there?
Because it gives, if someone has a physical handicap, either you have to give them a reasonable accommodation, or they just can't apply for the job because they can't meet the physical requirements of the job. That's all.
And with this one,
And it's in all the other job descriptions, so.
That's fine.
and this person's going to be trucking through the swamps, conservation areas, and wherever. So it's part of that.
Maybe we should put that in there.
It is, it's in there.
Going through swamps?
Going through the conservation wetlands, yeah, it is. Like I say, I read everything.
How did I miss
You
that?
said swamps.
Can you see
Well-
your copy real quick?
Sure, there you go. See, I'm bad, Kathy.
Because I would have
read
laughed
everything.
at that.
I didn't see the word swamp. That's
I
why.
didn't either.
I didn't see the word swamp, I saw wetlands, okay?
Oh,
You see wetlands.
Okay,
I was like,
the wetlands is in there. I used the word swamp.
because I would have laughed if I had seen the word swamp in a job description.
No, it said wetlands.
Well, some of the wetlands will be swamp.
Will
Well,
be.
yes, but you don't really,
Well, I'm just saying. But- All right, so I'll make that change, and does the board wish me to forward it to the planning board and the Conservation Commission requesting comment back within 30 days? Would that be enough, you
Yeah.
think, time, Clint,
Yeah.
for the planning board to look at it?
Yeah, they don't meet, the planning board does not meet again until January, so.
Neither does the conservation,
Yeah.
the 13th and the 14th.
We only give you 45 days then?
Yeah, because by the time the planning board gets it, it'll be 15 days from now.
Okay,
Yeah, and the conservation is only meeting once a month now.
Yes.
so,
I had a short discussion today with Kathy about our action items and our suspenses, that we should probably have it as an attachment to our meeting minutes so we can follow them along, so we can keep track of the action items we give and what the suspense is to see if they're overdue. Do you agree with that, so we can keep track?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Just so we know where we stand.
I like having things in black and white, so I'm
That's
good
all.
with that.
You got a problem with that, Kathy? Okay. We did have a short discussion today about that, because I was trying to figure out other stuff that the other committees had sent through the select board to other things, and they haven't come back yet.
Well, yeah, I remember talking about this about 6 months ago. We had a discussion on this. 'Cause I know it's with the The planning board does, we have action items.
I
Right,
like that when I read the
Yeah.
planning board's minutes.
yeah, the action items with suspense dates, and then we know who has the action and where it stands. Okay.
Were there any other changes that anybody wanted made to the job description?
Well, now I kind of want the word swamp in there. Just saying.
Was my interpretation as I read it.
Okay, there's that. Next item is I have 2 proposed contracts, employment contracts, one for the chief of police and one for the police lieutenant. And basically what Jen has already gone through and looked at them.
Yeah, I'm
No
not-
issue with the
I left
proposed
my
changes.
notes at home on that, so I'm not ready to address the contracts.
So you want to table them to the next meeting?
Yeah, we'll need an executive session to discuss that before we do it.
Do we want the employee to be present for that?
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other, I mean, as far as having the employee there or not, unless people want to talk, because we can do it either way. And then later, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, are you going to be doing negotiating with them, or are you going to be doing just talking about issues with the contract?
Well, I had some questions on the contract, whether it turns into a negotiation, I have no way of knowing, because I was going to ask the other 2 board members what they thought about it. So, why don't we just meet an executive session within ourselves, and then we'll decide.
But I think if you're going to talk about their contract, you really should have the employee here.
Okay, I don't have a problem either way. really.
That's my opinion.
Yep, I'd say I have no problem either way, but we are allowed to have an executive session by ourselves for contract negotiations and not weaken our point if we so desire. And I didn't bring them with them because I had told Kathy that I wanted to talk to you 2 about it before we went forward.
What does this board wish to do? Do you want the employee invited, or do you want to discuss it beforehand?
I guess, do you have issues with the contract?
I don't, so I don't know, I mean, that was, I think the Jay's concerns before we,
Well, I don't want
Yeah,
to,
I mean-
yeah, right, so why don't we just do it by ourselves first? You can hear my concerns before we give it to the person. Because you may sway me either way, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, I have no idea.
Okay.
So we'll just have a short session for ourselves prior to our next meeting. With that being said, our next meeting is going to be
January 6th?
you know,
6, yeah.
We're already here at 5.
We're already here at 5.
That's not going to work.
Well, the fire department contract has been up for 6 months, and that still is in negotiation stage, so it's not going to hurt to push this off another month.
No, like I said, this is for the police lieutenant and the
Right.
chief of police.
That's all it's for
Right.
2 people.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So we can push that off into next month. And we'll schedule an executive session on our first meeting in February.
So we're
when's
going to,
the contract date go to?
They have it
June
written in there.
30th.
June 30th, but they have it,
It's,
yes.
what it is, it'll be July 1, 2020 to June 30th,
2023.
2022, I think.
I don't remember.
But then they have a statement in there, if it's still under negotiations, the current terms keep on going into.
2023. July
That was
1, 2020 to June 30th of 2023.
I'll make sure that we're respectful to
Mhm.
them as well.
Right, because we have other ones to do as well. We have a whole bunch to do before. the end.
So you want to push the PD contracts off to the first meeting in February?
Yes.
No, why
No.
can't you do it in January?
I don't know, he said February.
We can
That's
do
what
it in
I'm asking.
January, but we're already coming in at 5 o'clock on too early.
Yeah, but that's for departmental reviews, and then you're going to have your regular meeting at 6:30.
So you want to do the executive session after our meeting?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
As
well,
part of
that's
your
fi-
regular,
Then fine, then
Then
we'll,
your
do you
regular
wanna do it
agenda.
The January 6th meeting?
I would rather you do it quicker, Because they
Okay,
are questioning what's going on.
Well, that's fine, I'd rather have it, I don't want, like, people have to wait
Yeah.
another month and a half.
okay, then we'll go into executive session after we determine we've had enough for the night between the public hearing and our regular select board. Then we'll go into executive session on the 6th and discuss those contracts.
Okay.
Make myself a note here. Department budgets. Regular. I'm just going to put down the PT contracts, 'cause I don't know what they mean, it's in my own notes. Okay.
Do you have the departmental reports? Oh,
Because,
okay. Thank you. So that's pretty much, I'm all set now, if you want to go into your new business and.
well, the only department reports that I had, two things on the line. On the November 4th for the fire department, can the chief please put a summary in there and not just charts? I don't think we should have to go through all his charts. If you look at his report on that date, he just has charts. There's
Wait.
there's no statements of what's going on. and
So
stuff.
which one?
I got 11-04-11-24-FD-R-P.
Okay, I mean, he does have a chief's notes at the, I mean, he gives,
Not on that one, he doesn't.
I'm looking at November 24th to December 1st.
Okay, this one is
November
right.
9th?
November
No,
4th.
this is what he's referring to.
Oh,
That's all that's there. See, there's no comments, there's no summary, there's no nothing.
really?
Yes,
Hold on, it must be,
This is what's coming out of his EMS.
right, the
software.
system, and that's,
Do you want to look at it, Jen? It's right
Oh,
here.
no, I'm pretty sure that I have a copy.
and I'm pretty sure that there was everything attached, because he usually does have the chief's notes down at the bottom.
I think that one was from the,
Yeah, but his chief's notes are,
They're very brief.
yeah.
I mean, there was one that he did have notes on, and there was one that he did not. See, 11,
Or Jay, an explanation of the,
a summary of what went on during the week, just like we get from the police department. everything
I
else.
must have left
Nothing
that
else.
one at home.
I just don't want to look at a whole bunch of charts and go figure it myself. Just give me a summary, that's all.
So kind of
Are the
like,
charts breaking down this data? Is this data breaking down the chart? I'm just trying to figure out.
Yes,
that's
the-
all.
I think
The-
the charts are just kind of like a,
the charts are an
visual to
overall
what that-
breakdown
what
of
that says.
what the
But I
calls
think if you
were.
look towards the end, Jay, I think the charts are a reference to these. This is
There's
the
a
raw
day by
data.
day, there's a call by call.
I can, I'll tell you, I'll sit with them tomorrow.
But you can see from the one you got there, just, all it is a cover sheet and charts on that particular one.
You're not a visual representation person, you're a hard data representation.
The way I read it was the charts were from what was the actual information.
In the back of the, that's what I think, but
The charts was the
I'll
visual-
verify that with.
The visual part.
So you're basically just asking him to elaborate on his chief's notes?
That's all. Don't leave them blank and give me charts, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Don't leave cheap notes blank and just give me charts to look at. Just a summary, that's all I care about.
Okay.
And then we had another one from Jeremy on facilities on 11-22-19-pub-gr-pdf. Somebody's been riding around West Street damaging the turf there. The same thing they did over Dufresne's Park. I
And it's
presume-
still occurring at Dufresne's Park.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, the police determination on happening at Dufresne's Park was kids being kids.
No, that was West Street School.
Was that West Street School? I knew one of them
That
said
was
it.
West Street School.
Okay. The thing of it is, they're doing more than just kids being kids, is all I'm saying. They're destructing town property. And they should be held, I'm not saying to prosecute, they should be held accountable for it. These the parents, something should be done. They shouldn't be going around tearing stuff up.
I would agree that they should have
Mhm.
better manners than that.
That's all I'm saying.
But I don't think they have anybody. that
Do
actually-
they know
that-
who it was?
The problem is,
Mhm.
there's nothing out there to record, to get something as
Right.
what's happening out there. So,
Oh,
at
you mean
some
like no
point in
cameras?
time, we will be
Putting cameras.
deploying
Hmm.
security devices
Right.
at
Okay.
some point in time at both West Street and Dufresne Park to catch them.
Okay. So there is plans to address it.
Yes.
See, I did not, wasn't aware, I've read it a couple times, and I just didn't think it was appropriate of people tearing up the
Because the
town's
first
property.
thing they said, they ask, so who's doing it?
Right, you're right.
And the issue becomes, we don't
We
have
don't
any
know.
proof, we don't have anything that's been out there recording, even if it's checking on a daily basis to say, this is what's happening.
You can't identify who's doing it.
Right. We can get those deer cameras that work on batteries and just put them out there if we wanted to, then move them around where we wanted to. And that's all I had on department reports.
Do you have anything, Glenn?
No.
All right. In that case, I will make a motion to approve and sign approve the department reports.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on our department reports? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Kathy. And a big thing on warrants, so. Did you want to go to warrants next?
Yep, that's,
That's
I'm just making sure you guys are set, that's
Yeah.
all.
We're still paying Jack Collins on, I noticed his name on one of the warrants. Are we still paying him?
He's our labor attorney.
Or is this for a specific incident, or is this just one of these ongoing retainer things?
Topics that I will not discuss
In
on
public.
camera.
Right, I understand that,
Yes.
but I had no idea.
We've used him for police items, we've used him for fire department issues, okay? And hopefully, those are going away.
I knew about the fire department issues, I did not know about the police department issues.
Because it's an ongoing issue that hopefully will be wrapped up soon.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. It's just, when I saw his name pop up in December, and I know, because I had dealings with you and him earlier this year, it just didn't trigger, why are we still paying him in December?
Because I'm using him to make sure I don't put my foot in my mouth that can't be extracted.
And I had no problem with that at all, because I think,
Can I admit that?
just like with the other stuff that we're going through with the public records request, we don't want to put our foot in our mouth either.
Correct. And that's why I make sure I run it by council.
Right,
That's what they're there for.
that's
And that
right,
way, if I get bad advice, I can blame council. for
You can
giving
sue
me
'em.
bad advice.
because they have insurance.
So.
I don't think they're gonna give you bad advice.
No,
I don't think
I
so,
don't
but I
think
just
so.
want to, I playing it safe.
I tend to find they err on the side of
that's
caution.
why we have them. We're not lawyers ourselves,
That's a tool, I wouldn't use it.
yes. Particularly since they're on retainer, and we pay them so much per year, whether we use them or not.
All right. First, we have warrant number 32. This is from the prior.
Oh, I'm like,
This is from the prior one
Yes.
that got canceled.
Yes.
December the 2nd.
yep.
Okay. We have warrant number 32. This is dated 11/22/19. It's a regular bill payment warrant in the amount of $416,461.35.
And that's the one I saw Jack Collins' name in.
Then I have warrant number 33, in the amount, which is a payroll warrant, in the amount of $413,679.94, which is dated November 29th. Then I have maintenance warrant number 34, dated 11/29/19, in the amount of $393,172.71, which is basically the payment of our monthly insurance bills and things of that nature. Now we have the ones that you have there, Jen.
I was like,
Okay.
I know
Number 35, which is a bill payment warrant dated December 6th, 2019, in the amount of $209,217.87. Then I have warrant number 36, which is a payroll warrant dated December 13th, 2019, in the amount of $520,930.87.
And number 37.
And then I have warrant number 37, which is a payroll maintenance warrant in the amount of $227,745 for various bills. Sorry.
All right, I will make a motion to approve and sign fiscal year 2020 maintenance warrants number 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on our warrants for tonight? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye. I don't know, Kathy. You're losing the stickies again.
She won't throw them out.
I know it until they die. What year?
They're kind of like those command strips. They don't hold after a year. Yeah, so you saw that look of Chris.
Yes, I did.
Totally forgot we missed a meeting.
Yes, I figured that when you gave me that side glance. Yes.
It's either that or you're getting old.
We all are. There's nothing wrong with that. When you stop getting old, you got a real
Like
problem.
fine wine, I'm aging well. I know, I'm good. I gotta be good. I gotta be good. Jay, while you mentioned the issue of that public records request,
Yes, sir.
did anybody respond to that email the town council had me send? Each one of you?
I put something on Kathy's desk.
Okay.
I have not responded because I was going to talk to you about it before I did.
It's
Okay.
not what you're looking for, but it's all I have.
No, the issue is,
We just got to supply him what he requests. We don't care what you're looking
and
for.
just give me something back in writing that, yes, you did check and this is what you found.
Oh, I didn't know I didn't do that back in writing. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll do that.
okay.
Yeah, I put something up to see if that was what you wanted, like if that
Oh,
is.
okay, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, no, that letter that email I sent to
Thank you,
each
sir.
one of you
I'll respond to
individually was from town council's
Right.
recommendation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I just want to make sure, because we have till December 31st, we got the extension.
Right. And when I talked to town council, he told me something a little bit different than the email, and that's why I wanted to talk to you before I turned mine
He
in.
wrote that.
Oh,
He wrote that
He
email.
told me he was going to change it and send you the change.
He didn't change it then.
Well, I'm just telling you what he told me, that's all. We can talk about it afterwards. Because it's a town council thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that other part at the bottom.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to check with.
And I know that
everybody.
what's up there is not, because that's between you and I, but
Okay, fine. I'll see what you did and we'll go from there. Okay? Next item is we have sewer warrant number 20-1.
Yep.
This is the billing for the sewer user fees for the period July 1, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. And it is Commonwealth of Mass, Town of Granby, sewer use fee warrant number 20-1. To Karen M. Stellato, agent for collection of sewer use fees for Granby in the County of Hampshire. In the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, you are hereby required to collect from the several persons named on the sewer use fee list, herewith committed to you as therein set forth, with interest, the sum total of such listing being $113,438.40.
40 cents.
The whole amount billed to all persons known to us to be liable for sewer use fees. And you are to pay over said your sewer use fees and interest to Stephen R. Nally, treasurer of the town of Granby, or his successor in office, at the times and in the manner provided by General Laws, Chapter 83. Given under our hands the 16th day of December, 2019. 3 copies to sign, please.
I will make a motion to approve and sign sewer warrant 20-1.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on the sewer warrant? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Kathy. Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
You all set? Yeah. Liquor licenses. Okay, first one is a license to expose, keep for sale, and to sell wines and malt beverages to be drunk on the premises. 2, Harry Martinez, doing business as the Pizza Palace, 31 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, license number 00012-RS-0458. On the following described premises: one-story building with 2 bathrooms, main entrance in front of building, exit and rear, located at 31 West State Street, Granby, Mass. This license expires December 31st, 2020. Signed the 16th day of December 2019. Hours during which the alcoholic beverages may be sold are 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Hours 12 noon to 1 a.m. Sunday hours are 12 noon to 1 a.m. There's 2 copies of that one. Do you want me to read them all before you sign them, or you want to do each one individually?
I think you can read them all.
Okay.
That's fine. Then make one motion if she wants.
Okay, the next one is license to expose, keep for sale, and to sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises. This is to the 266 Lounge, Inc., Edward V. Holberg, manager, 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. License number 00002-GP-0458. On the following described premises: 2 floors, 3 rooms in the cellar, 2 rooms on the first floor. Also to be licensed a picnic barbecue area for special events, located at 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. Signed the 16th day of December 2019. Hours during which alcoholic beverages may be sold are 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday 12 noon to 1 a.m. Next one is license to expose, keep for sale, and to sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages not to be drunk on the premises. Basically a retail package store. 2, the Granby Liquor Store, Inc., Jill Johnson, manager, license number 0008-PK-0458, 60 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. On the following described premises: building with full basement, front entrance, and side rear entrance, located at 60 West State Street, Granby, Mass. Signed the 16th day of December 2019. License expires December 31st, 2020. Hours during which alcoholic beverages may be sold are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Sunday hours 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. On a Sunday that immediately precedes a legal holiday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Next one is license to expose, keep for sale, and to sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages not to be drunk on the premises. Again, a retail package store. 2, Brousseau Liquor Mart, Inc., Michelle Ashley Stevens, manager, 367 East State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. License number 89034-PK-0458. On the following described premises: 1-story building containing 3,110 square feet, 2 rooms, located at 367 East State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. License to expire December 31st, 2020. Signed the 16th day of December 2019. Hours during which alcoholic beverages may be sold are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Sunday hours 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. On a Sunday that immediately precedes a legal holiday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. And then we have a renewal certification for 2020. And basically what this is, licensees who failed to renew for 2020, there are none. Licensees disapproved by the city town for 2020. The board hasn't decided whether they're disapproving any. And basically you have to sign a form indicating those two items.
Okay.
2 package stores and 2 places, restaurants, the American Legion and
The Legion and
Pizza Palace.
All right, so I will make a motion to approve and sign the annual liquor licenses for 2020 through
January 1, 2020.
January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2020 for Brusso Liquor Mart, Granby Liquor Store, 266 Lounge, and Pizza Palace.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on the liquor licenses? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Kathy?
Two copies of each of those.
Oh, is there 2 copies of each?
Yes.
That little,
One for the town.
it was hiding.
One for the town and one for them.
You may want to move that sticker down so everybody else knows that there's a second one there.
You guys all know there's a second one now?
We heard you. She was just checking us.
I'll make
that's
it
all.
prominent. Kathy likes to make us work for it.
Hey, we make her work for it.
It's true. Payback.
Hey, at least we got her smiling over there. She's had a tough time here lately.
And is there just one here that I have to sign?
Yes,
Okay.
there's only one copy. Yes.
Do you want the top block filled in or you could care less? Okay.
Oh, did I go too far down?
Well, that's why I just asked him. And if he wanted the top block, I got mine.
It's erasable. I can erase it. And
I can't erase mine. Yes, you can.
just draw a single line through and initial it. Single.
That's right. One cross out, don't blot it out.
Single line.
Thank you, sir.
See, Glenn fixed it. He made it all better.
That's
Thank
fine.
you,
That's
Glenn.
why I left the slot, and I mentioned it, so it doesn't matter to me.
All right. Liquor. All right. Now we have common victualers licenses. License number 20-01, fee of $25. And this is for RZ Granby Convenience, Inc., 30 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. License expires December 31st, 2020. License number 20-02, fee of $25. For the 266 Lounge, Inc., American Legion, 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expires December 31st, 2020. License number 20-03, fee of $25. for the Granby Liquor Store, Inc., 60 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. License number 20-04, fee of $25. To Martita's Pizza, Inc., doing business as Pizza Palace, 31 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. License number 20-05, fee of $25 for Brusso Liquor Mart, Inc., 367 East State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. License number 20-06, fee of $25 for the Subway of Westfield, DBA Subway number 54290, 47 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. License number 20-07, fee $25. Friends of Granby Veterans, P.O. Box 38, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020.
What kind of liquor license for?
When they do their
Barbecue.
barbecues and other.
things.
Now, the question I'm gonna ask on that one, do you wanna waive the fee for them of $25? But that's the sport's decision. Then we have license number 20-08, fee $25. Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, 256 State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. Again, I'm going to ask if the board wants
Right.
to waive that fee, which you've done in the past.
Like, they don't charge us for Christmas tree lighting nights, we use it and all that.
They don't charge us for use of their facility down
Facilities.
below. So,
Right. It should be fair and equitable back.
we have license number 20-09, fee of $25. The Flams Garden Center, DBA Dickinson Farms, 134 South Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. License number 20-10, fee $25. Dickinson Farms, 309 East State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020. And then the last one is license number 20-11, fee of $25 to AAH Corp., Dunkin' Donuts, 77 West State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, expiring December 31st, 2020.
And now you have the majority of businesses in Granby in front of you.
I know. I can't wait till it's like spread across the table.
That'd
But
be nice.
With that being said, I will make a motion to approve and sign the 2020 common victualler licenses number 20-01, 20-02, 20-03, 20-04, 20-05, 20-06, 20-07, 20-08, 20-09, 20-10, and 20-11, all expiring December 31st, 2020. And that was all in one breath.
Do you wish to waive the fee
Oh, and to
for
waive the fee for, hold on, let me pull
Immaculate
them.
Heart of Mary?
And the veterans.
Which would be Immaculate Heart of Mary, which would be 20-08,
And
and
07.
Friends of Granby Veterans, 20-07.
What is our criteria for
Waiving?
waiving it?
I think it's just our choice, isn't it, Chris?
It's your choice.
Yeah, and I just don't want to pick and choose. I want to have a,
Nonprofits. I look at nonprofits,
okay.
basically. I look
Apparently
at
religious.
nonprofits, I look at religious organizations, you know, things of that nature.
And so
I'm fine with that.
And the Friends of the Granby Veterans, they're trying to raise money to build the wall, the memorial wall. They are a nonprofit, and I consider them to be doing a function on behalf of the town of Granby.
I do too, and
I-
Immaculate Heart of Mary does not charge the town to use their hall, so why should we charge them?
I think that's fair.
I just want to make sure that we have a criteria that's set up that we're.
It's reasonable for
And
everybody.
it's consistent to what we're doing.
I try and keep consistent on that stuff, so.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any further discussion on the Vic license? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did you say aye?
I did say,
I didn't hear it. We got 3 ayes, Kathy. I just didn't hear it that
I
time.
think it said the same time you said yours.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's funny, I didn't hear it, and I started to make the J, and it's like, oh wait, Jay and I did it, so even if he said no, we're good. I've decided I can't write small for you, Glenn, so I'm signing on the bottom.
I just wonder why you changed. I just said, I looked at it, I said, what? She's changing her tune.
Okay, number 8, that's Immaculate Heart. Cross off
Cross off.
25 and write waived underneath it.
Do you want it initialed?
Nope.
Okay. And do the same thing for 07?
Yep. With the vets.
Cold in here.
Yeah, a little chilly. I was gonna wear a vest, but I didn't.
It's just my hands. I've got my thermals on. I was smart.
Well, the other day you had your hand warmers, those.
I got my foot warmers in.
Oh, at the Christmas tree lighting, she had hand warmers.
I did.
Had them out.
Hey, they came in handy when your wife
Yeah.
borrowed one, see?
Yeah, she did.
I was a Girl Scout, always prepared. Sorry if that was loud.
That's getting away, I know.
Yeah, attached together.
Yep.
Next, we have 2020 entertainment licenses. License number 20-01, fee of $50. American Legion, doing business as 266 Lounge, 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. 01033. Entertainment license for live entertainment consisting of karaoke, DJ or comedian, small bands, mystery dinner theater, singers, and piano players, to be located upstairs, no more than 96 people, and downstairs, no more than 80 people, of a 2-story building located on Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. Number 20-02, fee of $50, to the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, 256 State Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, for entertainment of live bands, DJs, for events to be held on the grounds of Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, located at 256 State Street, Granby, Mass. And again, I would be requesting the waiving of the fee for the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
All right, well, I will make a motion to approve and sign the 2020 entertainment licenses for 266 Lounge and Immaculate Heart of Mary, and waive the fee for Immaculate Heart.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on the entertainment licenses? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes, Kathy. You have to do the next one really good because it's free pool table, January 1st.
I haven't played pool in forever.
We have our own downstairs.
I miss playing pool.
Jay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then we have another license, number 20-01, fee of $20. Issue 2, the American Legion, doing business as 266 Lounge, 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass, for 1 pool table. And this shall expire December 31st, 2020.
Can I just ask why you need a permit for a pool table?
Because it has money.
It's entertainment.
Yep, entertainment,
Oh.
you're gonna pay for it, except on January
It
1st. you
doesn't
don't-
just come, I would have thought it would under the
If
entertainment.
you look at the other things they have listed there, you know, they have
Billiards,
billiards, a
Scipio,
Scipio,
bowling.
and
I have no idea what Scipio is.
No.
Nope. All right, well, I will make a motion to approve the pool table permit for American Legion DBA 266 Lounge, expiring December 31st, 2020.
I'll second Jen's motion.
Any more discussion on the pool table? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes, Kathy.
So I just
you're
need to sign
the
this?
only one that needs to sign that one. Yeah.
That means you get a free game.
Then we have automatic amusement device license, number 20-01, fee of $20. Issue 2, the 266 Lounge, Inc., 74 Pleasant Street, Granby, Mass. 01033, for an electronic dartboard, expiring December 31st, 2020.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the automatic amusement device license for 266 Lounge for the electronic dartboard.
I'll second that motion.
Any more discussion on the dartboard? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes, Kathy. Oh, you gotta sign this one.
Now, would you need a permit for a regular dartboard?
Yes.
Okay.
You do?
Really? Even if it doesn't cost
It's
us?
an amusement device.
But
I thought only if you paid. That's what I
Like
thought.
the
too.
electronic one, you have to put money in to use it. The pool table, you have to put money in to use it.
Right.
I thought that's why.
Like they don't have, I'm not trying to go anywhere, but you know, the horseshoe pits and stuff like that's entertainment, but you know, I think only if you have to pay for it, you need a license.
That's what I thought. If it's only
Yeah.
a source of revenue.
Yeah.
It's actually money taken out there to.
Yeah. Because I sure would want to, you know, do,
Sorry, I opened up that can.
yeah, the other things they
I'm
do
just
there.
curious. What?
I said, but who knows?
Gravel permits.
Okay, first one is for Leon Chartier of 232 Bachelor Street, Granby, Mass. This is a license for earth material removal on Bachelor Street with the following conditions. A minimum 30-foot buffer zone shall be maintained between any area of excavation and adjacent property. Said buffer zone shall remain in its natural state with no debris or excavation material placed thereon. A 200-foot buffer zone of undisturbed land be imposed between the removal operation and the adjacent street line. Sloping shall be 2-to-1 minimum, providing the soil conditions require it to be so. The sloping, loaming, and seeding operation to be an ongoing process as the pit is being excavated so as not to cause erosion. The loam or topsoil shall be replaced over the entire area to a depth of 4 inches, or the pre-existing topsoil condition, whichever is greater. No loam or topsoil shall be removed off the area. All loam or topsoil shall be reused and replaced as specified above. The entire area shall be seeded with a suitable cover. The depth of excavation should not exceed the pre-existing depth. All limitations are subject to review prior to the anniversary date of the renewal. Any violation of set limitations should be corrected before renewal. No limit be imposed on the rate of excavation per year. This rate is in reference to time only. The amount of material, yardage, is estimated at 5,000 yards per year. In all areas other than the buffer zone referred to in number 1 above, all trees shall be cut and removed a sufficient distance ahead of the excavation in order to ensure the safety of operation, but in no event less than 50 feet. A performance bond of $10,000 must be posted with the town of Granby. Hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. Days of operation, Monday through Friday only, excluding holidays. Warning signs must be located along the face top. This license expires July 1, 2020, unless sooner suspended or revoked, and the fee for the license is $100. The next one is for Garaki Construction, Inc., 5 Lion Street, Granby, Mass., 01033, and 11 Alliance Street, Granby, Mass. This is for earth material removal operation on 11 Lion Street with the following conditions. A minimum 30-foot buffer zone of undisturbed land be imposed between the adjacent property lines. A 200-foot buffer zone of undisturbed land shall be imposed between the removal operation and the adjacent street line. Sloping shall be 2-to-1 minimum, providing the soil conditions require it to be so. The sloping, loaming, and seeding operation to be an ongoing process as the pit is being excavated so as not to cause erosion. The loam or topsoil shall be replaced over the entire area to a depth of 4 inches, or the pre-existing topsoil conditions, whichever is greater. No loam or topsoil shall be removed off the area. All loam or topsoil shall be reused and replaced as specified above. The entire area shall be seeded with a suitable cover. The depth of excavation shall not exceed the pre-existing depth. All limitations are subject to review prior to the anniversary date of the renewal. Any violation of set limitations should be corrected before renewal. No limit be imposed on the rate of excavation per year. This rate is in reference to time only. All trees cut and removed from a safety zone ahead of the excavation site of at least 125 feet. Hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. Days of operation, Monday through Friday only, excluding holidays. License to expire July 1, 2020, unless sooner suspended or revoked. Fee for the license is $100.
All right, I will make a motion to approve and sign the 2 of 4 red gravel permits because I'm not rereading them again.
I'll second the motion.
Any more discussion on the gravel pits licenses? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes, Kathy.
those 4 spots, not
Should
missing
be if
anything.
there's
Just
two
making sure I
signatures-
wasn't
two
missing
signatures.
anything. And I'll fill the rest of it in after you guys are done signing. Today's the 16th, right?
Yes.
Is this last page supposed to be signed? I know there's no sticky on it, but there's a spot for the selectman to sign it.
No, I just looked for stickies.
There's no date on it, right?
No, what's it say on it?
It's the application, which is actually just what we
Just signed.
just signed, so I think
Spots on
it's,
there.
There should be 2 of the same thing with the,
You got 2 licenses.
confirmation sign.
yep.
Okay,
No, Glenn
because
was,
they can get one back.
There's just one last page that had a spot for.
yeah, Glenn was just
Which one?
asking about this one, Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you never get on camera.
Apparently she does when we have questions.
No, Alex, move the camera. It is chilly in here. 62. 62?
Oh. That's why my hands are turning bright red.
I was gonna wear a vest, but I didn't.
I just thought I was cold-blooded.
Well, I won't go there.
Thank you.
Just remember today.
All the folders in front of me.
Okay, I guess it's up to me for the other stuff here. Well, before I get into the Energy Committee and the budget, before I forget, I just want to say that we had a very nice Christmas tree lighting by all those that helped. The board did sign some thank you letters for all the people that contributed. And thank Immaculate Heart of Mary for using their hall, and the people from the Festival of Trees that were there as well, because there was multiple places to go. And there's somebody that's looking for a skating rink to be added to that. I'll let that person work on that himself. But as far as the Energy Committee goes, we did complete the FY19 yearly report. And we made it with a day to spare. And we would not have made it without Mr. Martin's help, to be perfectly honest with you. Mr. Martin, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this in case I put my foot in my mouth to say it. It appears in 2016, when the East Meadow School was being renovated and having an addition electrical line was put in of multiple phases so they could do the work. When they finished the work on the addition and the renovation. Okay, let me back up. When they put the line in, the school that added the line, or whoever added the line, they didn't make it tax exempt. So we've been paying sales tax since 2016 on that electric line over at East Meadow School, which is $200 to $300 a month. Which,
A little more than that,
a little more than that? Okay.
because you're also paying tax on the supplier of the energy.
Okay, I missed that part, thank you. But so you can see it's quite a bit of money from 2016 to date, paying sales tax because they didn't hook the line in. In addition to that, when they finished the addition and the renovation, they terminated the old line, but never told anybody about the new line, so it was never added into the Massachusetts Energy Insight database. And the only way we found it was the Green Community Annual Report, because it comes on a physical year. And Mr. Martin had to go back and get all the information for the year. So we could go back to National Grid, we being the Energy Committee, and have them download all the energy data from 2016. If that was not done, this town would not have been allowed to put an application in for a Green Community Grant. So, not only has money been wasted, we almost lost the possibility of applying for a grant. With that being said, on that one, that'll be reviewed by Boston, and if they approve our yearly report, then we'll be eligible for a grant. And hopefully all the work that everybody, Mr. Martin, probably Kathy as well, and the Energy Committee did to get that done, is people should be very thankful to all the people that did that.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
John? Has that issue been rectified?
I don't know. We notified the school. And at the last school committee meeting, they said on camera that they never added a new line.
I did hear them say that in the last year, no new lines had been added.
Well, it was in 2016 it was added.
Was that part of the construction?
So was it
Yes.
the contractor that did it?
Was it the contractor that did it?
Originally, it was being billed to the contractor. However, when they occupied the new addition, it was turned over to the school at that point in time.
So it's a line they're still using?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a temporary line
No,
while they
it's the
were...
primary line today because it's multiple phases.
Why didn't it become tax exempt when it was turned over to the school?
Wouldn't that be an automatic?
No, you
Oh.
have to request it and provide tax exempt information and the whole 9 yards in order to become
Even
from
if
tax. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Just like when we go to Walmart or we go
You have to
anywhere else.
file your tax exempt certificate with a certain department within National Grid, which is separate from the building department, which is separate from
Oh,
this and that.
Lord have
Oh,
mercy.
Oh, believe me, it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, it's just like when we go to Walmart. If the town doesn't have an account set up with them, tax exempt, you gotta get a copy of the certificate.
Right.
When you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, it's all the
I
same.
work for a tax exempt
Oh, okay,
corporation, I
then
get
you're
it.
aware.
I'm just wondering, so that, the school probably didn't know that.
Right, that's, my guess is they had no idea.
We have informed the school of the problem with that. Whether it's been corrected or not, and, well, I guess I really can't say unless you see a new electric bill, whether, on that account, whether it's sales tax is still on there or off.
I know a request was sent to National Grid.
Okay.
However, it was returned back to the school because they failed to identify the account number. They wanted to be turned over to tax exempt status.
And that goes along with the certificate that has to go with it, right?
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, how many account numbers are there?
For us,
Well, for the school?
there is
4 or 5 for the school.
3. I think there's 3.
Now, they got a
High school.
High
You've got high
school.
school. You've got
East Meadow?
East Meadow, and then I think you've got the traffic light there, the speed.
Okay, but
limits.
wouldn't logic dictate if we are, because we would have already had an account for East Meadow.
No, because they canceled the old account.
canceled the old
And
account.
strung a new wire
Oh.
in to a brand-new electrical box,
Okay.
okay? Sorry.
I need to
So, has it been since, well, when was completion of the school?
17?
We opened in 2018 for students.
No, yes, I think that was when we moved
September of
into when we
2018.
moved into the addition, or the new.
2018 is when all kids came in.
Then,
so my
then the
question-
September before was when because what you had to do was move the kids out of the old East Meadow School into the addition.
Right.
So they could go through and do the complete
They moved in
renovation.
February of 2018 over into the
Okay.
old building.
Okay,
You know the dates.
Okay, so my question is, when did the town
Take it over?
take it over from the contractor? Because it doesn't go all the way back to 2016.
no, but it would go to,
Probably her
it
February
would
of
go
18.
to when the children moved into the new addition, is when we were required to start
So
paying.
when was that,
Oh,
Jen?
that would have been February of 2018.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's
Yes.
been, so it doesn't go all the way back to 2016.
It's been a year and a half.
As far as the money goes, it may not go back to 2016, but
But
as
the
far as
data?
energy usage for the town,
Yeah.
it goes back to
No,
2016.
no, I hear that part, but I was
Okay.
thinking that it was, $300 plus a month going all the way back to 2016. It's still bad, don't get me wrong, going back a year
You're
and a
talking
half.
about about a year and a half,
Year and a
yeah.
half.
About a year and a
Yeah.
half, but it's not as bad as I originally thought was 2016. so.
3.5 years, yeah, almost 4.
And then they have another account at 190 East Street.
That, 190 East.
Well, Jay, good for you and the Energy Committee
Well,
for...
And Mr. Martin was in our too. If he didn't have the numbers and know him, we wouldn't have got there.
Someone picked up on it.
East Street or East State Street?
No, it's East Street. That's the listing they gave me, 190 East Street, and it's listed as a library. And we're still trying to resolve what it really is.
We never paid on that account.
Okay, but they sent
Yes, they did send it,
Yeah.
but there is no bill we ever
C
received
for that account?
for that
Okay.
account.
See, this is part of the problem we have. And when Boston goes through our yearly report on the Massachusetts Energy Insight Program, if the I's aren't dotted and the T's aren't crossed and it don't match up, they can say, hey, your report's no good, you can't put in for a grant.
No, I understand that you want things to be correct.
Yeah.
But if we've found the issues and we've addressed the issues, then we should be good.
We still have some issues with some streetlights, I think, but we're working on that. But anyways, the majority of it is done, and I just wanted to thank all the people that did the hard work to get that done. Also, other good news. We now have a, a firm, Cadius, that is going to do the study of the safety complex for resiliency, for solar on the roof with battery backup. That's a grant that we applied for originally for the school to have it converted from number 2 fuel oil to another energy source, or nobody bid on the study. So we got permission to Boston to transfer it to the safety complex, and we finally got a quote in for them to do it, and I just forwarded upstairs to Kathy and Mr. Martin. And we'll review that, and that has to be completed by 30 May of 2020.
The
Otherwise-
study?
Yeah, and all our paperwork backing it up. So, you know, so there's another one that came into play there.
Okay.
But we still haven't contacted the people. I figured we'd do it after the holidays. That's why I haven't rushed it, because they're probably on holidays too, and then we'll get that one started. I wanted Mr. Martin to review it first, because we got the proposal from them. That's the Meta grant. EV charger status at the safety complex. I got a call from electricians today. I guess they're wiring it up. So that one should be good to go very shortly. And then we'll just go on from there with that. And the other good news is Mr. Martin the town received approval for the new library to have 2 EV chargers put in. They'll give us $12,500 for that. They're gonna give us money for the safety complex too.
I
It's
remember.
60%.
I remember you talking
Yeah,
about
because
that.
we all approved those grants, so I figured you want to know the status of those
Yep.
grants. Well, Mr. Martin has the one to review upstairs for the new library. They're going to give us $12,500 for that, and I think it's like $16,000, $17,000 to complete all the work.
So that's not bad.
No, we get very minimal charge on the new library.
Okay.
We just have to process that paperwork, get it back to Sage Hall, and that'll be that with the, as far as that goes. And that's all I wanted to let you know about the Energy Committee, because you did approve those grant applications, so you should know the status of them. Okay, as far as, you might want to know this too. And this goes along with a question you asked early, last time. The total energy consumption with no weather normalization, because they do weather normalization.
So this is without?
This is without weather
Okay.
normalization. Granby has reduced their overall energy by 17.6%. If you take into consideration weather normalization, Granby has reduced its energy consumption by 18.3%. That makes us 1.7% short of the next incentive stage. We got to reach 20% as the next incentive stage.
So close.
You need to be where?
20%.
20%?
Yeah, 20%, then we go up to the next level of incentives.
So what'll get us there?
Well, hopefully, if we get another green community grant,
What will- Thank you, Glenn. I know
hopefully,
my math is
if we
bad,
get another
but-
green community grant for FY20, which we're going to submit, and we'll bring it to this board once we get it done. And if you two are interested, we're going to start picking out the energy conservation measures, which we're going to put for the Energy Committee probably on the 19th. And then we're going to get back to you guys to get it approved before we send it out into Boston. Between that and 1.7 is not that much. If people just turn the copiers off when they're not using them, or turn the computers off when they go home, which the school doesn't do, we could save the 1.7.
East Meadow does.
When I went to junior, senior high school, they were all
Well,
on.
I don't know about them, but I know East Meadow, the computers will go off at night.
Well, they got the computer labs and stuff all on there, and they were all on. They were even on during the vacation period. So I asked them about, are they going to have them, because we're going to have to develop on the next stage of the green community, different plans on energy reduction.
Oh,
So,
we're turning the heat off in here.
I know, we're doing our job here tonight, it's down to 62.
Thermostat's not allowed to go over 63 degrees
Yeah, it's down to 62.
in any building. That's it, no
Okay,
more.
and the other item that
And no
I
air
had
conditioning
here,
either.
I don't want to get lost in my shuffle, was the FY21 budget. Remember at our last meeting, I gave you, if you had a prepared wish list that we could look at, because as Mr. Martin says, they're going to, the different departments will be coming forward for their request. And I had sent you out, like, Mr. Martin already has number 1 done, as far as the article for the planning board and conservation. But I think we should send a memo to the planning board and conservation to let them know that people will be moving into that building, so they can start planning what they want to do with their records. So they'll be aware of the fact.
Who's got records down there?
Both conservation
Both?
and planning board have records in that building.
Well, I would ask,
Yeah, that's why we're
what is
talking.
available that's for town property where that could go?
For storage.
For storage.
Mr. Martin gave me a good idea. He talked about moving the filing cabinets upstairs against the 2 walls and leaving them upstairs. You still think that's a good idea, Chris?
Upstairs here, or
No,
upstairs at the old
upstairs
library?
at the old library.
That's where I thought about putting them, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he mentioned. You could use 1 wall for conservation, 1 wall for planning board upstairs, because it's typical a meeting place anyways. So that's an idea he gave. But I think we should put in a memo to those 2 parties that that building downstairs is going to be occupied.
You can, yeah, I mean, he told me, Jay, I'll bring it up at the...
Well, we got to tell the conservation committee. I don't know. Anyways, any way you want to do it, I just want to make sure it's passed on. you know.
Requested in writing, Glenn.
Okay, the grant writer, I still think we should get a grant writer, and to be honest with you, when I finish writing this next green community grant, I'm done.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Until we get a grant writer, I just,
We'll find a way to keep you doing it.
hey, I'm getting too many breakfasts at the early mug at 5:30 in the morning, not because I get up early, because I haven't gone to bed yet. And that's gonna end.
I'll buy you breakfast, okay?
No, they actually give me a free breakfast if I beat them there. The plan of conservation, Mr. Martin has already taken care of that. The school budget, On FY '21, I believe the school is no worse and no better than any department in this town. And we need the transparency so we can make sure the taxpayer spends their money the best way the taxpayer wishes. I believe the school budget should be net school spending, and anything over that would be an article, just like any other department we have in town. That's my opinion, and if you want to have a discussion about it, we can have a discussion as far as yours, but I'm ready to make a motion to have that happen, because I think we need to have that done with everything that's going on at the school. Between last year and the end of the year money, this year with the different school and the different grades, people want transparency. And we control the articles.
We do control the articles, however, I agree with transparency. I don't necessarily agree with how you're asking for it to go. And the simple reason for that is net school spending does not cover what it costs to educate a child.
I agree with that, but also
And
the
if you
school.
give, but no, if you give, if the school has to come for everything over net school spending, then the students are the ones that are losing out if the town does not approve that. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't, because the town has to approve it, whether it's in one account that can be moved around like they want,
Correct.
or it's in multiple accounts where it's dedicated to be one thing, and if the school decides they want to move it, just like any other department, if they want to move it, they have to go back to the people and ask.
But if I'm understanding, and I may
Okay.
be misunderstanding you,
Okay?
let's just say we're gonna do net school, we're gonna
Yep.
do 1 million, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then Article 1, 5,000 for, we'll just say special ed.
Well, special ed would be under the...
I know, I'm just using,
Because anything that's mandatory by law would be under net school
Just an
spending.
example, Jay.
it was just an
Oh,
example. Okay, so then the town could conceivably say, you know what, we're not gonna approve that 5,000, but it's a mandatory, it's a necessary thing. And, okay,
Yes.
maybe SPED was wrong because it's a mandatory.
And that would be...
Let's say
included.
technology, okay?
Okay, a technology
Technology.
upgrade.
It's not mandatory, but it is mandatory in terms of global learning.
But
which is what we have all
also,
become.
snowplows are mandatory at this time of the year for the highway department, but they do by articles as well.
I agree with that, but there's also a very large difference in how much. So we can use a snowplow year after year for a certain number of years.
Yep, and you can use technology year after year after year.
And they have been using repurposed technology for so long that they don't even have technology, but maybe that was a bad example. I guess my frustration with that is that the students are going to be the ones that lose out if you go article to article.
Student are
It's
not
going
gonna
to
lose out.
increase our town meeting times.
Yes, that is a fact.
And those are already ridiculous, and we already lose people because the town meeting times are way too long.
I would agree with you, it's going to increase, we can have more days versus length of time, but the people would get a choice on how their money is spent. Today, the people do not get a choice. They get a lump sum given to the school, and just like last year, when the school had a surplus, like our other departments, turn it back into free cash and ask the people, what would you like to do with it? The school says, no, we're not giving it back to you, we're going to spend it. After they went to Mr. Martin and requested to transfer the money from FY19 to FY20. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't do that, it's illegal.
Correct.
So they said, oh, well, if we can't transfer it, then we're going to spend it, without giving the people a choice. It's
The people had a choice.
No,
the town had a choice.
didn't. No, they didn't.
Approved.
No,
they approved that amount for the school to do with what they needed.
They approved that amount. I'll give you a perfect example right now.
We're going to fight on this, Jay, sorry.
I don't care. The school went before in last May, and they proposed certain items, and they need a certain amount of money. Okay. Already, this year, the school has hired another teacher to replace the dean of students, which was not even on the wish list.
Okay.
So that means they've got money there that could be used better elsewhere by the town, possibly depending on the voters. The voters should have that choice.
But if the town had already approved the money for the school, it is the school's to do with what it wants.
Only if you do a lump sum article, not if you
And
do...
that's what we've done.
And that is wrong, because, okay, then, let's do it this way
But
then.
it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
It's just not what.
So
you
basically,
believe
would you
we
be
want to do.
saying
It's
that
not
we would
wrong.
have to do a line item for every teacher's salary?
Okay, then we'll put it to you this way. How about if we do a lump sum budget for every other department in town, and there'd be no police cars, there'd be no trucks, there'd be no nothing else. They'll just, each department will get a lump sum budget, and they'll do what they want with it.
One would assume that they would be responsible with it, and
You would never
Get a
see
new
free cash
cruiser.
again. Hey, if you're gonna treat them equal, you treat them equal.
You can't, well,
you can't
you
necessarily.
can't treat them equal because they're
Equal
not-
and equitable
they're not
are two
comparable.
separate things.
They are comparable. When it comes to the financing of specific functions, they are compatible.
I'll
I'm
give you
not-
an example. So when the school department's looking to purchase a new plow truck
Yeah.
or wherever they need it, that's a separate article.
Not always. Look at the lawn equipment they bought this year that was not included in their original article.
I'm not talking about.
Well, what's the difference? It's a piece of equipment that they decided to buy on their own, and they never told the people they were gonna do it.
Was it a necessary piece of equipment in
Depends
order
who-
to run the school?
Depends on whose interpretation it is.
Well, with the now
So-
division between town and school,
So.
did they have the equipment
They
needed
have
to
all the brand new
maintain?
equipment, the town got all the leftovers.
Is that what we're upset about?
No, nobody's upset about anything. I'm not upset. I want the people to have a choice of what to do with their money. I don't want to listen to any department say, no, you can't have that. That's my money. No, it's not their money. It's the townspeople's money.
I guess I don't understand what you're saying. No, you can't have that. It's my money. I guess I'm not
At the
seeing
meeting
how
we
that-
had, which you were not at, when the school had the surplus last year, it was the select board, the finance committee, and the school committee.
Okay.
I told them, I recommended to them that this entire town needs an IT infrastructure analysis performed.
Okay.
If we don't do that, we cannot put in for grants, because we have to justify the grants. And I told them we should do it for every department in the entire town. And they told me, no. We're going to spend it on Chromebooks for the school. And I says, if you look at the wiring in the school, you got Cat 5. That runs at a maximum of 100 megabytes per second. I said, what are you paying for? They said 300 megabytes per second. I says, how are you going to push 300 megabytes per second speed through 100 megabytes per second wire? You can't do it. So the school went on to say, well, we need to increase our speed. So next year, we're going to increase our 300 megabytes per second to 500 megabytes. So now they're spending more money this year on 500 megabytes per second. It's not going to go through that 100 megabyte per second wire any faster than a 300 megabyte. It won't go. We need the infrastructure.
I
Mr.
agree we need the infrastructure.
But we have to do a study before we can get it. They got so many devices there now, it's slowing it down even
Well,
more.
correct, because the grades all have Chromebooks. Well,
So why?
Right.
I think
why
3
isn't-
through or 4 through.
Sorry, Jeff. So why isn't this brought up to the school committee, who is an elected body from the town?
It was brought up.
And what are they doing with it?
I have no idea what they're doing.
So if
Maybe
the
it's
town
time
people
to
do not
have-
agree with what they're doing with it, the town people
The
should sit
town-
down and let the elected officials, who they are, the school committee, and let them know how they feel.
I don't think the town people even know about it.
Well, they know about it now, if they watch this.
Well, that's one reason why we're talking about it.
Oh, they know about it if they watch the school committee meetings because
again, so these
the
are
tension
things-
has been brought up.
Well, that's the different thing with the sixth grade and like that. That's nothing to do with the money we're talking about now.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
maybe it's time to have a meeting so that we're all at the same table.
Okay, but if you wanted that, we can have a meeting, but I'm going to make a motion here and now to declare that I believe that the school should have a net school spending budget of the net school spending should be their budget, and everything over that be article by article, like every other department in town. Now, if I get a second, I get a second. If I don't, I don't. That's my position. So everybody on GCAM can see. I don't care. Okay, there's no second, so that one is done away with as far as that goes. The town website, we talked about that at the last meeting, that unfortunately Kathy is not getting all the meeting minutes. If you remember, we talked
Yeah.
about that. I believe we should send a memo out to a generic memo to all our subcommittees that we have, reminding them that
That
they
they
have
must
to
be.
send them to the town clerk and to Kathy Leonard, because it's required under Massachusetts general law.
Are we going to put a timestamp, like 30 days after they must be posted by?
Well, the Massachusetts general law says they must be in a minimum of draft form within 2 weeks after the meeting.
What we could do is have a memo sent out to each committee or,
We can do a generic one, just send it out.
Reminding them to,
but with that can be, the law can be stated in that. It can be attached to the law, the Mass General Law, can be attached to that.
Okay, so you want me to take the action to draft something, to give it to Kathy so she can send it out to other committees?
I think it just, all that needs to be said is that you need to follow.
Mass
as far as
General Law.
Minutes are concerned from any committee or board or,
It's a friendly reminder.
yeah.
That's all it
To
is.
follow Mass General Law.
Well, who do you want to draft the memo, and who do you want to send the memo out to all the committees?
You get Chris just draft the memo.
That's what you want, that's fine, I have no problem, I trust Chris. So you got an action there, Kathy, for a memo
Sorry,
to all the
Chris.
committees? And as far as the Conservation Committee, we're just gonna let them know about the records? How do you want to handle it? Okay.
So send them
You want-
send the chair a letter.
Did you hear that part, Kathy? Okay. Okay, again, on the,
Sorry,
go ahead,
Nathan,
go ahead.
to interrupt. So with that too, Conservation Committee as well as the Planning Board will need to look at to make sure that, you know, what
What do you
fits
need?
out there, what they need too, to make
Yes.
that fit and
Yes.
actually be accurate, or those file cabinets what they need or something else required?
I was going to say, how
that's
are
the
they
whole
currently
purpose of
stored?
the memo, is
Yeah.
giving them time to think, because the moving into those new positions.
Think
will
is
probably-
one thing, but, you know, if they have to purchase things, that's another thing.
Are they
Well,
currently
that's why
in,
we're doing it now, in case we have to create an article for it.
Right.
Glenn, are they currently in file cabinets?
There's some are file cabinets, some are in like a boxes down there.
Like banker box type?
No, like a cardboard
No,
box.
like cardboard.
It's the truth.
And it's the truth, I mean, there's stuff in there from 15 years ago.
Yep. And you gotta
Oh,
keep.
wow.
longer.
Can it be archived? Digitally archived?
I think so. But there is a system so we can actually look at it and, you know,
Oh, so it is,
there is some type of system down there. I know for like the past 4 or 5 years that I've been on the planning board, we've made a little better system. We've been going through them.
I know we started with the
Yeah.
USBs,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the status of them are or anything like
are
that.
any of, sorry, just questions, because I didn't even realize we were storing things down there, but are any of those records backed up digitally in case the building flooded?
You know.
Well, if they're filed with Hampshire County Deeds, they are. If
Well,
they're not,
backed up as far as that.
if they're not filed
But
with
not
Hampshire
for
County.
us.
Not for us.
Not for us, no.
And
Okay.
most everything that's been, if it's been needed been approved by the registry of deeds,
It's already up there.
But if it's been disapproved and never made it to the Registry of Deeds, then it's probably
it's
not
there.
backed up.
Right, no.
Okay,
Look at it.
okay. So that'll give the conservation, the planning board time to see what they need, if we have to do an article to get them
Yeah.
funding, whatever like that. So it's not, we're not jumping around at the last minute. I believe we need a lead person in the highway department. We need Dave DeRocha to do some more of his regular paperwork and not running the machinery. In addition to that, Dave is getting close to retirement. And if somebody decides to leave, he decides to leave, we need somebody to educate whoever the new person that takes it over and what's going on.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
We would actually hire a person.
We would
that
have
meets
to-
The qualifications is what we need.
Right, we'd hire a lead person that could work there. You know, like here,
If Dave leaves,
We would hire someone
that meets the
qualified to replace
qualifications that
him.
we need.
right, but I think right now we need a lead person to let him, he is now the stormwater manager, permitting officer. That's another one of his duties that's been added.
So, let's have Dave come and let us know what he needs. And
Okay.
Let's hear from him and we can look at it.
Okay,
And
now-
a job description will have to be developed
right, just like it was for the
for
other.
the personnel, by the personnel board.
Okay, I'll tell, Dave, if Dave,
Listen to what he has to say first before we just create a job for somebody.
right, well, we have informally talked about it. As far as our budgeting for next year, we've been talking about paper shredding for years. Do we want to include it in our budget?
I think we should do a paper shredding.
One
A
day,
community paper shred?
one day,
One day.
Yeah.
okay. How do we want to, just do an article one at a time, or how would you want to handle that, Mr. Martin?
What would be the
Why don't you
cost?
put it under solid waste
Yeah.
I have
Solid
no
waste
problem.
disposal?
enterprise fund?
I'm just asking how you
We
like
do
to
it the
do it.
same day we do that too.
No, you don't want to do them both the same day. That'd be too much. You'd want to have separate days, I believe. for
I
solid
would, if
waste.
I'm gonna hold a paper shredding, I hold it here.
Yes,
I've already
Yeah.
talked about doing that here.
yes.
Because it'd be easy enough, because what you do is you bring it, you drive up to the thing, you throw it in a bucket, he takes the bucket
Yeah,
and
so
dumps
it's
it
a
in.
big
Dumps it in the truck.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we can do, if any of our departments, say we hold it 9 to 1, just hypothetically, if any of our departments has a lot of stuff they need to get rid of, we can reserve like 9 to 10 for them, and then the general public can come in
I
afterwards.
think we could do it on the same day. We just have a different, just a different.
Different
location.
locations,
I like having it on the same day so people realize. it's-
one and done.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I have to disagree. From working the yard waste day and working the bulky waste day, and trying to do that in a paper shredding in one day, I think is way too much.
But it's not fair to pay, if that would be here. Basically what it is it's the company that controls everything that's coming in. We can have someone there kind of directing people where to go, but the company controls it.
Okay, but
There's
the
no,
box off
you're not
stuff.
charging them, you're not doing anything.
Right, there's
That's
no
what you're
fee
paying the company to
collecting.
come
They're
do it.
literally just coming, picking up a box of stuff, dumping it in the
They'll tell you
bin.
where the box goes, drop the box, and then they take it from there.
how about, for now, we'll just add the costs,
And we'll figure out the deets later.
the details later, okay? Bulky waste days, spring and fall? Because right now, currently, we have 2 in the fall only.
I thought we already decided
Huh?
that.
Oh, wait,
We
no,
don't have two in the fall for
no, I'm
bulky
thinking of yard
waste.
What do you
waste.
think of the yard
I'm
waste?
thinking of yard
Yeah,
waste.
I thought we already decided on 2.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we're gonna have 2, one in the spring and one in
Didn't
the fall?
we?
I thought we already decided on
I
that.
keep saying no.
He kept saying no, and we,
I thought we did.
I thought we did
Because
too.
when the whole thing came up before, I thought we said we could use 2.
yeah,
My problem becomes, is that you look at other communities, a lot of them either don't hold it or they hold 1 a year. Why do we have to have 2 to allow people to keep coming in and throwing their trash that they accumulate twice a year? Once a year is good enough, in my viewpoint.
Because I'm hoping that doing it twice a year, it doesn't become so much when it becomes once a year.
Sure, you're gonna have the same people come bringing in stuff every time. What you're gonna have to do is raise your fees high enough
and
that
I
it's
agree.
gonna discourage them from coming to ours and instead going and calling waste management or finding other ways
So
of
we're looking
disposing.
at what our fees should be, is looking at what we're charged for certain items. I know when it comes down to the other part, the tonnage, but if if they're charging us $25 to dispose of a mattress, that's what we should be charging, $25 to dispose of a mattress. We shouldn't be charging
Less.
$10 if we're paying 25.
I agree. So
And I thought we'd already
we'll
agreed to look
budget
at
for
that price
spring and
list.
fall bulky waste, and we'll look at revising the fee schedule.
I'll look, and that's where we have to look at the fee schedule anyways, there's certain things on our
It
fee
changes
schedule
every
Yeah.
year.
that I brought up.
Yeah.
Well, some of the things that can't be on there that are on there right now.
Right, and I thought we had discussed that when you brought that up.
Yes, that's what I thought so too. Like propane tanks, it's on there, but the town
Can't do
can't
it.
take propane
It's a
tanks.
good point, but the thing it is,
Fluorescent lights, it's on there, but the
Can't
town
take 'em.
can't take them.
Mr. Martin is getting ready for our budget, and we have to let him know what he has to budget for.
Christmas tree for next year.
Oh, yeah, you weren't at the tree lighting.
What's wrong with the word is? Hey, I think it's a nice little tree where it is.
She wants a Christmas tree like Rockefeller Station with an ice skating park
No,
down in the
Glenn
common.
originally wanted that. I now see the wisdom of that. That poor thing, that poor tree.
Well, it's sitting on a ledge. It's not going to grow a whole lot.
I just wanted to put that single red ball on the tip of it so it toppled over like Charlie Brown's.
It's not that bad of a tree. I was just up there today. It's a nice looking tree. It's full.
It's just never going to get to the big as the one they have.
It's not going to be like the one at Kellogg, no, because it doesn't have anything to put its roots down into.
That's right.
Right.
Just a question, and I don't know the answer.
I'd
Is
like
it
a nice
possible to put a tree
30-footer.
up in the veterans area when they do the park? I'm just asking a question now. I have no idea what the answer is.
If we were going to move it, I would put it on the front where they were planning on putting the gazebo. You put it up there, that way people can see it coming up and down.
I agree with it.
Up where the hall used to be? Yeah, up on that high rise?
Yeah,
But then we got to run electricity to there.
because there's no electricity up there at all right now. The box was disconnected when Auto Tower was taken down.
Okay, well, we can deal with that.
Yeah, we deal with that.
Because how cool would it be if we had a skating rink and the tree
I told
and
you it
a
was
whole
coming.
day of festivities? Come on now.
Then you might as well have it different.
I already
that's
said
with
that
the
they
skating
vetoed
rink,
my
yeah.
Dufresne's. I would like the tree at Dufresne's, but they already vetoed it because the access.
I have a concern with that because of potential vandalism.
But if we're gonna have,
I want it visible too, and at Dufresne's is really not visible.
if it's a 40-footer, it'll be visible. Just saying.
40-foot tree. Are you going to string the lights on it?
I will string the
Are you going
lights.
to string the lights
You
on
can
it?
put me up in a cherry picker and I will,
Jen's not good with numbers, okay?
you can put me in a cherry picker, I will decorate that tree. No, I am not good with numbers.
40 feet is a very tall tree.
Yeah.
Like I said, he'll see it.
40 feet is about from that wall to that wall.
That's not that big for a Christmas tree.
I think that's a pretty good sized tree. You know the dimensions of this place?
Oh, that's at least 40 feet. That's 40 feet right there.
All right, I'm gonna look up how tall
But anyways.
Rockefeller Centers is.
And
Why
the
don't you look up how tall the Rockefeller tree is, and that'll give you an idea.
Okay.
And yard waste, you want to do spring and fall as well?
You always do yard waste this spring and fall.
Right. But I didn't know
Spring
if
is mainly brush from the,
winter.
and sticks that fall
Falls
down.
usually leaves.
Yeah.
I had a question about that, and I probably should know the answer, and I
No,
don't.
None of us know everything.
So, what do we do with all the stuff from yard waste? Where does it go?
If it doesn't go through the machine that the highway department has, there is a place in Belchertown that currently takes it from us at no charge, because our highway people do such a good job on finding the hidden stuff that people put in the yard waste, and they use it for mulching in Belchertown, and then they resell it as compost.
That was my next question. Do we have an area large enough to create a town compost?
No, not that I know of.
Yes, we have a place to create one, but it's labor intensive because you have to constantly
Turn
Turn
it
it
over. No, and yeah, I know,
And
but
that's the problem that we have. We don't have enough manpower to devote
to devote to turning it.
constantly turning it over.
If you go to Ludlow, they have a big
Because that would
one
be
in Ludlow.
something that would be a really good asset to
Because we
town.
did talk about doing it at one point, but we just don't have the manpower to be able to devote.
To turning it.
Mhm.
And then you gotta get DEP permission to put it somewhere.
Yep, yeah, your location, have it inspected.
Okay. Things to ponder. Now let me figure out how tall that tree is.
That's all I had. Did you two come up with anything that you thought on a wish list that we should be looking at for the town, that we need to add to the budget that's not already there?
I don't really see anything.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
It would be less than half the size of Rockefeller.
What it was Rockefeller, 880 or something?
Usually a Norway spruce is anywhere from 69 to 100 feet. I'm only asking for 40.
Only.
I'd be more apt to want to plant a good tree in a good location that it would grow than pay the money to have a tree like that hauled in every single year in
Okay,
this
well, then we
town.
would still have to haul in for the couple years before the tree grew.
Now, financially, we got better things to do with our money than that, in my opinion.
I don't think we need a 40-foot tree, but a 20-foot, 25-foot tree, I think is reasonable, and it probably costs you a couple $100.
Couple hundred?
I think,
Christ, you pay 60, 70 bucks for an 8-foot tree.
right,
Yeah, so,
and then
add
you,
it up.
then,
Add it up.
and then you gotta figure the
And that's
cost.
8 feet, right? What's on 8 feet? 8 feet?
16 feet.
$200.
200 bucks.
Then you gotta pay for the truck to haul it in, and then a crane to lift it up.
Because we don't know anybody with trucks or cranes.
Well, we have our own
Cranes,
trucks.
no. Cranes, no.
Cranes, no, but trucks, we have our own.
But, you know what, that's something to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something to think about. We don't need, you know, whatever.
We'll form our own committee, Glenn.
We need a nice big tree.
See what I happened to me at tree lighting night?
Yeah, then it wasn't even plugged in the next day.
It's
I didn't see it lit up.
It's remote control
remote
operated.
controlled from the dispatch office.
It was lit tonight, Kathy.
It's remote control. It's great. It's remote control
We're
operated.
actually just gonna put it on a
Timer?
different time, so it goes when it's dark out, comes on, gets light off, goes off.
It was supposed to have been tied to a set of outdoor lights. When those lights come on, the tree would come on, and when those lights went off, the tree would go off.
The parking lights you're talking about. Put the overhead lights.
Or even on the entranceway and stuff like that.
Like $20, they sell sensors, just plug it into. When it gets dark out, they come on, gets light out, they go off.
Just keep spending money.
I'm good at getting donations.
Hey, you got mine for your parking.
See?
Well, then we have a remote to it now.
Well, Jeremy had, I don't know where it came from, but it belongs to
His
the town,
house,
Jeremy.
his house.
Yeah.
See, it belongs to Jeremy himself. It doesn't
Came from
belong to
his house.
Doesn't belong to the town.
But for next year, I shall find one and I shall donate it to the town.
And where are you gonna put it?
Dispatch office, I would
I'm
say.
just gonna donate it to the town. The town puts it where they want.
Everybody enjoyed the
Yes,
Is it
Thank
good?
you, Glenn. And
Yes.
so the ones that were left over are going to be.
They're frozen.
They
They
were
are
frozen.
frozen.
So that the scene, and they'll be unfrozen, and then the scene.
God.
They're frozen, are they on the shelf in there? They're frozen?
Yeah, they're frozen.
are they gonna use them on the 19th?
Because she didn't trust me with them.
Okay, speaking of the 19th, if you didn't have the right software when the invitation went out from the COA for the Christmas holiday party, you wouldn't have been able to read it. You know you're both invited to the Christmas holiday party? Because I didn't know if I sent an email to her.
Something came out today.
What software?
She had it under publications, and if you don't have the Microsoft publications, you couldn't open the file. So I sent it back to her and says, you need to put this in a different format so the average person can open it. So they
Well,
use,
if you have Microsoft Office 365, you automatically get Publisher with it.
I don't have 365, I use 2013 still.
I did tell if I was available, I would attend. I just don't know.
Yeah, well,
Okay, but anyways, the 19th, 11:15, to put a plug in for them. But they have to let Chloe know by tomorrow, right Kathy?
No, it was
today.
Okay, but I think if you guys let them know tomorrow, because they got 4 turkeys, Chris? They had to buy the whole box, I believe.
don't know.
It's gonna be real turkey, it's not gonna be turkey loaf for this lunch.
Oh, if I
What's
had
wrong
known,
with turkey loaf?
I could have given them 2 turkeys.
Is it turkey loaf, real turkey?
Yes.
No, not
Yes,
necessarily.
what it is, it's ground up and put into a form, and it's turkey loaf. Hey,
It doesn't taste like turkey. It tastes like
It's
mystery
turkey
meat.
loaf.
Tastes like
Mystery
mystery
meat.
meat.
it is turkey. And yes, I did eat those riblets, and I had no problem with the riblets.
Well,
I had
yes.
a problem with the sauce.
What is
Okay.
a riblet?
It's the sauce.
It's the-
You know the McDonald's McRib?
No.
It's the one they grind the pork up.
Wait,
and
that's
they-
the one they found a mouse in.
No, that was
The
Kentucky
McRib
Fried Chicken.
sandwich.
That was
Yes, it's a
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
McRib, but basically it's a McRib.
No, like
They serve
years
them-
ago, that was where
yeah,
they
but
found the
serve- But they
mouse.
serve them here. Okay, and Jay says nobody likes it, so I had to try one.
The seniors all complained they didn't like them.
I didn't have a problem with the meat, it was the sauce. The sauce to me tasted like the pork and Campbell beans and hot dogs
Yeah, it could be
sauce.
something, I just know the
It has
seniors
that
didn't like it.
vinegary, tomatoey taste.
Oh.
It doesn't taste like a barbecue
Yeah.
sauce.
The seniors didn't like it at all, they wrote it up. And what the people that we get,
We went from talking about a tree.
Tree to riblets.
I had 3 people taste test it with me.
I guess
They were
those 3
brave?
people are gonna get them from now on.
We did a taste test and we all agreed it's the sauce. If you had a different sauce on it, it would be,
How did you separate the sauce from the riblet?
no, you can't, but it comes with the sauce already on it.
Right, so how could you tell it wasn't
we
the,
took a taste with it on, and each one of us said it's the sauce has that Campbell's.
okay, well, next time you need to run them under running water to get all the sauce off to
Right,
make
that's what
sure.
I'm saying. If they had a different sauce, don't put the sauce on it. Have a separate one, and we slather it when it comes here.
Oh, God.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, what it comes from, what is it?
Western Mass Elder
Western Mass Elder Care, and it's already pre-done before it gets here. It's their main menu. They serve to everybody on that day. And the seniors here do not like the riblets at all.
Hey, I told you I would try it. I tried it.
Yeah, I made sure they were brought up to you.
I had no problem with it.
Alrighty, on that note,
And what do you expect for free food?
It's true.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's free. You know, it's a suggested donation. If you don't want to pay for it, you don't.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's all I have on
Nobody
mine.
pays that day.
Nobody pays attention?
Nobody pays that day.
No one pays for the riblets.
I throw $5 in every time I come here with my wife.
Cheap date.
It's 2 1/4 they ask for, so I give them $5, it's easier for me.
Sorry.
Anybody else have anything else who want to adjourn this meeting?
Before you adjourn.
Sure.
The mini pumper
Yes.
was delivered today to the fire department. They had an official, what do you want to call it, pushing in of the vehicle into the bay
What
at
it
6
is.
o'clock tonight. It was delivered around 1:30 this afternoon, and they're all chomping at the bit to put the equipment that they took off of engine 3 onto this unit.
Well, the notes say that it's already off of it in engine 3.
Yeah, it's
But they
already.
have to put it
they have to
all
put it
on.
on.
On this new one. When they opened up all the cabinets, they're all empty.
They were all
They're
empty.
bare. The cupboard was bare.
It's all sitting in the bay.
I didn't go up there because we had this meeting scheduled at 6:30, and they had that scheduled for 6, and I didn't think I could make both.
Well, I did go up,
We wouldn't have
Okay.
started without you.
just so you know. I
It
did
was
go up.
very quick. I think in 10 seconds that truck was pushed in.
Okay, I didn't know.
And they
how-
weren't inviting us to the Christmas party, so, hey.
Oh, well, I didn't know they even had one today.
I bet your riblets were good.
Not going there.
Okay, everybody's gonna have a good time watching us on GCM with this.
Maybe it'll bring in more viewers.
Okay, does anybody else have anything else, or we want to go to adjournment?
We're going to adjourn because I'm free.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second Jen's motion.
Anybody want to discuss the adjournment? Having none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.